Imagine arriving at Budapest at sunrise, standing on the chain bridge as the golden light bounces off the Danube River, splitting the city into two worlds, Buda and Pest. You pause and smile. Not many know that Budapest was actually two separate cities until 1873, when Buda, the hilly side, and Pest, the flat side, were unified. That's right, Budapest is a city born from a marriage of contrasts. You cross into Buda Castle Hill, where cobbled streets lead you to ancient stone walls and the Matthias Church, whose colorful tiled roof gleams like dragon scales. Just a few steps away, the Fisherman's Bastion offers views so magical they feel like scenes from a fairy tale, and maybe that's because parts of the Walt Disney logo's castle were inspired by this very structure. Later, as you explore the city, you uncover one of Budapest's most cherished secrets, a vast network of natural hot springs beneath your feet. The Romans knew it 2,000 years ago. Today, you can soak in the Secanii baths, one of the largest spa complexes in Europe. Locals play chess in the steaming water, even in winter. Who knew that Budapest has over 100 thermal springs, more than any capital city in the world? As evening falls, you walk down Andrésy Avenue, a grand boulevard that hides a haunting truth. Beneath your feet runs the Millennium Underground, the oldest subway line in continental Europe, built in 1896, that's older than the Paris or Berlin metro. You end your night on the Pest side, under the glowing dome of St. Stephen's Basilica, where you learn something even stranger. Inside lies the mummified right hand of Hungary's first king, St. Stephen, preserved in a golden shrine. And just when you think the city can't surprise you more, someone tells you this: Budapest has more bridges than Venice and more bookstores per capita than most cities in Europe. It's not just romantic, it's wise, wounded, and wonderfully weird.
The Ottoman period left behind a distinct architectural and cultural imprint. Several of Budapest's famous bathhouses, such as the Rudas and Korali baths, were built during this era and continue to operate today, fed by the city's abundant natural thermal springs. Following the decline of Ottoman power, the city fell under Habsburg rule, and a new chapter of growth and European integration began. By the 19th century, Budapest was a key city in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The year 1873 marked a defining moment, the unification of Buda, Pest, and Óbuda into a single metropolis, Budapest. This new city quickly blossomed into a hub of commerce, culture, and science. Grand boulevards were constructed, the Hungarian parliament was built on the Pest side of the Danube, and the city celebrated Hungary's 1000th anniversary with the opening of the Millennium Underground in 1896, the oldest metro line on the European continent. However, the 20th century brought immense challenges. World War II inflicted devastating damage on Budapest. The siege of Budapest in 1944-45 led to the destruction of all the city's bridges and significant loss of life. The Jewish community, once one of the largest in Europe, suffered terribly during the Holocaust. The Shoes on the Danube Memorial stands today as a chilling tribute to the victims who were executed by fascist militias and thrown into the river. The city's struggles did not end with the war. In 1956, Budapest became the epicenter of a national revolt against Soviet control. For a brief moment, Hungarians dared to dream of freedom only to face brutal repression. Tanks rolled through the city's streets, but the spirit of resistance endured. Finally, in 1989, Budapest once again made history as Hungary became one of the first Eastern Bloc countries to peacefully transition away from communism, helping bring down the Iron Curtain. Today, Budapest is a vibrant capital where East meets West, where history coexists with modernity. Visitors can sip coffee in grand cafes that once hosted revolutionaries, soak in Roman and Turkish baths, and ride trams past buildings that survived centuries of war and rebuilding. With more thermal springs than any other capital city, a metro line older than Paris's, and architecture rivaling Vienna's, Budapest is a city where the past never truly fades, it simply adds another layer to the story. In every stone and statue, in every market and museum, Budapest reminds the world that beauty can be resilient and that even a city scarred by history can rise again and again with grace and strength. Get the Budapest card. The Budapest card offers free public transport, free entry to over 30 attractions, discounts at restaurants, and free walking tours. This package offers good value for those who are actively sightseeing for 48 to 72 hours. Better done if you buy online for a small discount or at the airport/train station on arrival. Use trams instead of tour buses. The number 2 tram along the Danube is one of the most scenic tram rides in Europe, and it's part of normal public transport. Trams number 4 and number 6 run 24/7 and cross the key bridges and boulevards. Buy a 24-hour travel pass if you're using transit, a lot cheaper than single tickets. Avoid currency exchange scams. Hungary uses the forint, HUF, not the euro. Avoid airport and tourist area exchange booths, they often have inadequate rates. Use ATMs inside bank branches, not the Euronet, blue, machines. Hack, pay by card where possible. MasterCard and Visa are widely accepted. Visit baths early or late. Budapest's thermal baths are wonderful, but crowded. Visit Székely baths or Gellért baths early in the morning, before 10 a.m., or 1 to 2 hours before closing for fewer crowds. Hack, bring your towel, flip-flops, and swim cap to avoid rental fees. Eat like a local. Skip tourist traps near Váci Street.
Before there was Budapest,
Try lunch
there
menus,
was water,
hills,
and
local
and
restaurants.
dreams.
Many offer 2 or
Long
3
before
course
its
meals,
name
€4
echoed in
5 to
Europe,
7 on weekdays.
the Romans called it a quincum,
Visit
a
ruined
fortress
bars
city
like
where
Simple
soldiers
Kurt in the
bathed in
Jewish
thermal
Quarter for
springs
drinks
and carved out order on the wild edge of empire. Here, nearly 2,000 years ago, life bubbled, just like the hot springs beneath the ground, waiting to shape history. Then came the Ottomans. In 1541, Buda fell, and the crescent moon of Islam rose over the hills. Turkish baths were built, and prayers echoed through minarets. For 145 years, the city lived between cultures, where East met West, not in peace, but in power.